Hello and welcome to 365 Days of Excelling with Clive. This is day 95 and today I'm looking at these four formulas, rows, column and columns. So these formulas are also important when we look at VBA. They'll be very useful, especially when determining the range you want to work with. So currently we just want to do the formulas to see where we can use them and how to use them, and also when to use them. So the row formula is used to determine the row you are in. For example, if I go into this row and say equals row, and it asks for one argument within the parentheses, which is the reference. So the reference is the cell you want to determine the row for. And then I say this cell here, which is C16, and it gives me 16 to show that my row number is row number 16. Likewise, also, I can use the same for column as well. I can say equals column. Then one parameter again, it asks in the parentheses is the reference. So if I select, for example, this, it says it's in column number 2. So B is column number 2. So we count from here 1, 2. And if I change my reference to this, it will tell me that it's column number 7. Then rows, what it does is it counts the rows within a range. So if I say, for example, equal rows, then it asks me for an array, I want to count the range. So if I just select this array to say, okay, I want to count the rows within this range, then I put closing parenthesis. Then it tells me that my array has 21 rows. So it has 21 rows. It's also quite useful when you want to determine the last row in your Excel workbook. So others might know that if you want to determine the last row in your Excel workbook, it's a question that is sometimes asked in interviews to just see how good you navigate within Excel. So if you want to determine the number of rows within an Excel workbook, you just go at the last row where you have data in your worksheet, okay, and you press Control down arrow, and you check the row in which your Excel is ending. Likewise, you also do the same with columns. You go in the last column where you have your data and Control right arrow to see the last column. However, an easier formula you can also use is rows. So you can say equals rows, for example, to determine the rows within your Excel workbook, and you just select the whole column. So you just select the whole column. For example, here I'm selecting the whole HH. It can be an AA form column, or you can even select here at the corner to select the whole workbook. Then you close your parenthesis, and it tells you that you have this number of rows. Likewise, also, columns works exactly the same. If you want to determine the number of columns within your Excel workbook or within a range, you use the columns formula. So if I want to determine the number of columns within my array, so I say equals columns, then I select the array. And I close my parentheses and enter. It tells me that I have 2 columns within my array. Then also likewise as with the rows column, I can also determine the rows within my Excel workbook by making use of the rows formula and just selecting the whole entire worksheet as my array and closing my parentheses. Sorry, I did put 2, or it's supposed to be the columns and 1 parenthesis. Okay, just left an equal sign there. Then it tells me this is the number of columns I have. So that's it with rows and columns formulas. These are quite pivotal in your VBA. So We remember them when we start doing dynamic arrays and dynamic array referencing in VBA. We'll be making use of similar formulas to these ones in VBA. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button and also share on your social media. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can get notifications when I upload new videos in future. Thank you. Bye-bye.